Our presenter today didn't send me exactly what he's going to talk about, so it's going to be a surprise. But I had a very good one-on-one with him, and I know you're going to enjoy his experience, and it's going to be very interactive, so it's going to be fun. He has over 30 years in sales, so selling anything from cars through life and health insurance, loans, and many more. And he's now a business owner, and he also trained others in the art of selling, traded stocks, very, has experiences, in different areas. So that really built a lot of ideas for him to share here today in the presentation. So our speaker, Rich Kelly, is here to share his passion for personal development. So he's going to talk about different personal development, icons and different ideas that they shared from stage. He's collected everything for us here and prepare to have fun. So help me welcome Rich Kelly.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me begin this way. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a magician. So I'm going to show you a magic trick. It had nothing to do with anything. I just wanted to be able to tell you to do it in front of the crowd. And this is, we call this a magic of silver. I've done this trick so many times, it's got all wrinkled and holes, right? But the idea is to put it in your hand, and shuffle it, stick it down in the middle of your hand like that, and then make it disappear. So that's impressive, huh? Yeah. Now I'm going to tell you how I did it. How about that? They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that in magic school, will they? What happens here is I can bring it out and put it back because I have a magic finger, right? Just put it in the finger like that. And stick the finger in like that and go like that. And you say, wow, it disappeared. Okay, not that. I've always wanted to do that for a crowd. But today's subject matter is motivational speakers and the benefits we accrue because of our association with motivational speakers. So I want to ask you in the audience to tell us a little about your favorite motivational speaker. And Ken's going to have the mic. You can tell about the motivational speaker and what about that speaker you like. Anybody? Raise your hands. Kim, please.
The first one that comes to mind is John C. Maxwell, and that's just because he's very practical, down to earth, and I think he's genuine, loving and caring, and really wants to help people grow and be the best they can be.
Excellent. Anybody else? Because I've got a list too, so once we do Mark.
I love Stephen Covey. I got to see him personally a couple months ago, and I loved him because he talks about trust, which is very vital in today's world.
Excellent. Anyone else? Right here, please.
I really appreciate Tony Robbins because he absolutely proves to you you can do way more than you think you can.
Excellent.
I'm a firewalker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is a firewalk anyway. Thank you, please.
I love Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer is very inspirational, but he's also very down to earth, and he uses examples that are real. And he makes you know that there are possibilities outside of this, right here that are in front of you. So.
Excellent. And Ayala?
The first one that I heard, and I really like him, is Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was a great guy with a lot of sense of humor, and he was able to really capture the essence of personal development in my eyes. I really liked him.
Excellent. So now, what I want to do, oh, I got one more hand here, please, right there. In the green shirt.
I got two. That's four.
There's a couple of them.
I mean, there's many that I like, but I want to talk about the one I have run into just recently. That's Robert Kiyosaki. Of course, I am disabling. I'm not allowed to talk about it, so I don't talk about it. But I learned a lot from him, and it's easy to read, so I highly recommend, you know, if you want to keep out of trouble, it's a good one to read.
And Angela, please. Okay. How much time do I have?
No more time. That's it.
That's the end of your talk.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks for the cue, I'll be brief. Well, first of all, I just want to say, absolutely agree with all of you. All of those speakers are motivational, absolutely amazing. And reminds me, I'm in the right place. Everyone's here, they know them, awesome. My one would be Jason O'Toole, the Canadian. And one of the reasons I like him is the enjoyment for life that they always put. As long as you're enjoying and you're sharing it with others, you can transmit anything that you want. That's the way to lead as well. And most important, fear. Fear is a liar, not fear. Thank you.
Right, so let me present this way. Most motivational speakers are suggesting to you ideas and ways to be successful. But everybody's idea of success is different. So just briefly, just a few people, tell me how you define success. Anyone? Should I?
Having a genuine relationship with yourself, and living with integrity with yourself, and being what you are and what you want to be.
Excellent.
The progressive realization of a worthy goal.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
I think the best way to have success is to do a real evaluation of what you have and be grateful for everything.
Excellent. And one more right here.
According to me,
Yes.
the flow that you go with the universe is a success. Because everybody in this universe is trying to connect with the Almighty, and that's flow that makes life blissful. That's what I believe in.
Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about a motivation speaker that's my favorite. I'm going to talk a little bit about what he's developed and how it has benefited me and also anyone who really pays attention to what he's saying. His name is Bob Proctor. Now, Bob Proctor, when he, how do you put it? If I disagree with anything a motivational speaker says, I don't listen to them anymore. And when Bob Proctor first started 20, 30 years ago, I heard him speak and I was not interested in what he was saying because I disagreed. But just lately, in the last year or two, he's really strong. Got strong. So I want to share with you the concept that he presents. And the concept is called paradigm shift. And if you're not familiar with that term, what he described the paradigm is how we make decisions, how we think, how we develop to the place where we think. And so what he talks about initially is when a child is born, they are born with two blanks, the conscious and the subconscious mind. And by the time they're 4 or 5 years old, the conscious mind is almost fully developed. What happens there is that all the decisions we make from that point on are made because of our exposure to the conscious mind that we developed by the time we're 4 or 5. And so if you look at your life, your patterns were developed when you were 4 or 5, and if you didn't consciously work on changing those, they would be the same person you are today. And what motivational speakers do many times is try to help us change our paradigm, which is how we understand things. So I'm going to go through a couple of things that Bob Proctor talks about. He says he cuts the mind into two pieces. The top part of the mind is the conscious mind, bottom part of the mind is subconscious mind. And what he says is that our paradigm is how we make decisions about our lives. We go into our bank of information, our bank of experience, and we make decisions based on that. If it's erroneous, we keep making erroneous decisions. If it's accurate, our lives make progress. So I'm going to refer to my notes a couple of times here. He says what we do for the first 4 or 5 years of our lives to get this balance, this foundation is, it's our environment that creates that for us. So if in your household people speak 2 or 3 languages, by the time you're 4 or 5, you speak 2 or 3 languages. If in our household the people are thinking about not having enough, how poverty-stricken we are, by the time you're 4 or 5, you're thinking about poverty-stricken. If your family is wealthy and by the time you're 4 or 5, you have a whole different concept of how the world works because of the environment that sets your foundation. The next thing he talks about here is you are the consummation of what you believe. Your person is made up of what you believe. For you to make any progress, if what you believe is not getting you where you need to go, there needs to be a change in your paradigm. Understanding that your paradigm is what you believe. So for example, we respond and react to things based on what we believe. For example, I said to you, there is no life on any other planet. Some of you say, well, I believe there is. Some of you say, well, I agree with you. But it's based on what? It's based on what you have been convinced of to believe. Okay? So, if you want to change your paradigm, I'm not saying you have to, but if you wanted to change your paradigm, you would have to change what you believe. Now, I'll give you an example. People have concepts about money. Some people believe money is the root of all evil. If that's your paradigm, why would you want to be financially insecure? Financially secure? That's called a Freudian slip. So obviously the people in this room don't have that paradigm. Okay? My next page talks about there are 4 areas that the paradigm can be influences you with. And that's, one is your logic. The other one is your perception. The other one is your experiences in life. And the 4th one is the amount of money you earn. It's set up in your head how much you earn. If you were surrounded by people who made $200,000, $300,000 a year, and that's been your exposure in your life, you'd be earning that as well. Because we are completely absorbed in what our environment is. So if you needed to be a $400,000, $500,000 a year earner, you would have to create a new paradigm so that you think in those terms. I remember an experience with Donald Trump. He was going through going through a divorce. And the judge,
Same thing.
so the judge put him on a budget, $485,000 a month. You know what he said to the judge? How am I supposed to live on that? He was serious. So your paradigm has to do with what you think and how you feel about what you think and your perception of reality. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go about Proctor. This is all about Proctor stuff. So if you want to go online and look at stuff, everything he does about paradigm is just very good. So then he talks about the 2 pieces of the brain. The top portion is the conscious mind, the bottom portion is the unconscious mind. In that conscious mind, we engage in our 5 senses: seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling. Those are conscious mind. And in the unconscious mind, we only deal in feelings. So if you say, I feel this about something, that's coming from the subconscious mind. Now those feelings can be created or, what's the word I want to use, can be reinforced by changing our paradigm, what you believe. What you believe can change your feelings. Give me an example. If I said to you, I'm wearing pink underwear, what's your feeling when you hear that? This guy's gay. Nothing wrong with that, of course. But your perception changed by the feeling associated with words. So when we examine our paradigm on who we are as a person and how we feel about issues and things and events, it changes who we are. So if you want to change who you are in any area, you have to adjust your paradigm, what you believe. I should have brought my glasses. Now this says there are 6 conditions of the conscious mind. Number 1 is reason. Number 2 is memory. Number 3 is perception. Number 4 is will. And number 5 is intuition. And number 6 is imagination. And how our paradigm adjusts is how much energy we put in any one of these 6 areas. So if you want to be more powerful, then you have to change your paradigm about your will. If you wanted to change your finances, you'd have to change your paradigm about money. If you wanted a happy family life, you'd have to change your paradigm about your relationship with your family and your children. Because recognizing that your paradigm was created before you were 5 years old. And so if you don't spend time adjusting it, you will have that same paradigm as an adult. And that's why you find a lot of people who teach people how to get in touch with themselves, but go back to their childhood. What was your first experience with this? What was your first experience with that? What was your first experience with that? Because that's when the paradigm was formed. So, with that in mind, how am I doing on time? 5 more minutes? Okay. So this is what Proctor finally says about paradigm. Since your paradigm is the only thing standing between you and what you want. Your paradigm is the only thing standing between you and what you want. So if what you want is not in that place where you are now, your paradigm is the blockage. Now that's all the project I have for today. The next one I want to talk about briefly is Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn I thought was a master teacher of life. He was a life coach. And this is some of the words of wisdom that he's shared over the years. I gotta find them here, but I got them all. And when you think about it, they're just profound. Jim Rohn says this: take care of your body, but it's the only place you have to live. He also says in the laws of success, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. The other one he says, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Good stuff. And then I have a quote from Napoleon Hill about procrastination. He says, it's the bad habit of putting off until the day after tomorrow